Well, it was a long night for Emmanuel as he was in Port Harcourt to see how the migrants came in. Let's get more of the story from Emmanuel as he joins us from Port Harcourt. Emmanuel, you met with some of the migrants. What were some of their reactions to, finally returning home?
I think you could see excitement. A lot of them were simply rejoicing at the very fact that they were on ground, on top of home soil. For many of them, it was like it's like a dream come true to find themselves back at home. Ironically, while they went out to seek for some better dream, their experiences perhaps taught them that that dream was really back home. But I would like to say that a number of them are still traumatized as a result of what they went through, their experiences. Some of them saw some of their close friends die, beaten to death, shot at some point. It's a sad experience that I believe a lot of them would not like to see again.
Get to know or ask them why they embarked on this journey in the first place, despite the dangers involved. I'm sure they must have heard that some people who had gone before them were exposed to a lot of dangers.
Now, talking with some of them outside the lights of the cameras, because a number of them did not want to be shown on camera, you would, it appears there's a business chain. There's a line of business that is that has been there for a long time. I think it involves those who are able to sell a phantom idea that life is better on the other side. They define the location, the route of movement. They give them this impression that you have to seek for this better life. A gentleman told me that he was actually on his way to Europe. He did not know that he was going to go through the troubles he went through. But when he saw that he had been, his entire journey had been penned down, he decided to go in that direction. And joblessness, the level of unemployment is a source of trouble, not just for these people. Many of them are young people. Is also a source of trouble for many Nigerians.
The officials on ground, do they tell you, what state that some of these new migrants that have just returned, where they're from in Nigeria?
Well, it appears a lot of them, if not all of them, know where they are coming from. I think that makes the job easy for a lot of the officials. You heard in that report, they're doing a lot of profiling, and it involves you identifying where you're from. And we're expecting a number of state governments to take it up from here. A lot of their citizens will like to go back home, and I'm sure the officials, they are working very hard to ensure they connect these returnees to where they really want to go, which is home.
Right. If some of them perhaps come from the state that received them, River State, do you know any of the River State government's plans to rehabilitate any of those returning migrants that are, from River State?
Of course, we could tell you that the state government has pledged its commitment to ensure that citizens from the state are well taken care of. And not just citizens from the state, the government has also said they will do all they can to ensure that those who arrive the state are well taken care of until they find where they are supposed to go. Now, River State or Port Harcourt International Airport is more or less like a landing ground. The camp is a transit camp. People come in, about over 5,000 of them are expected to come in, but they are supposed to come in batches. As they come, some will be treated, sent to where they're supposed to go, to just create that sort of sequence that would not allow a humanitarian crisis to arise.
Right, thank you so much for more on that story. Our correspondent Ereyi talking to us from Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Let's move on. Protests in Sudan over a sharp increase in the price of bread following the removal of government subsidies yesterday has spread to the capital, Khartoum. Police used tear gas against the protesters who threw stones, burned tires and blocked roads. A student demonstrator was killed in West Darfur. A junior interior minister warned that destructive protests would also be dealt with forcefully. The authorities have seized all copies of a number of newspapers which criticized the price increase. Unrest over a cut in fuel subsidies in Sudan in 2013 led to weeks of disturbances in which the government acknowledged that more than 80 people were killed. And in East Africa, Tanzanian authorities say they will not charge 5 pregnant schoolgirls who had reportedly been arrested over the weekend on the orders of a local government administrator. Regional Commissioner Gelasius Bianqua says that no charges were made against the girls or their parents, and therefore no one will be taken to court. He adds that the police are looking for the men who got them pregnant in the first place. But a human rights activist says that there's nothing under Tanzanian law that says schoolgirls should be arrested for being pregnant, and that a child younger than 18 will be considered a victim under the law. More than 15,000 pregnant girls are reported to drop out of school every year in Tanzania. Coming up after the break, the new leader of South Africa's African National Congress, the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, calls for unity among party members. That's in a moment.